So I met an old friend for breakfast today, and I hadn't seen him in about 3 years. And it was nice to catch up. Been a while, and life changes for people. He told me about some of the things he was going through, and I'd shared some of the things I had experienced over that time frame. And we ended up getting into a discussion about philosophy and thinking about life, how you approach life, how you think about things you're dealing with, problems and challenges, how some situations that you've gone through shape how you approach life moving forward. It was pretty cool to have this conversation because I have not had a philosophical discussion with somebody in such a long time. It was a breath of fresh air. And it was pretty interesting to me how we had a lot in common, especially with how we thought about things. Like there was so much we had in common in relation to our approach to thinking about many different elements of life and living and dealing with specific issues and problems. But I found that there was this thing, this feeling that while there was this connection over a shared mutual interest and a lot of intellectual depth in what we were talking about, that my connection with this person as an individual was not the connection I hoped it would be. And if this person ends up watching this video, I want to say as a disclaimer, I mean no ill intent or to indicate that I dislike you or anything like that. I think you are a fine human being and you've got a lot of great qualities. But what I found was the connection that I was looking for in between me and this individual was not really there. Like you can share this discussion and you can have this really intellectually engaging conversation with this individual or a individual. Could be anyone. And you can talk about things you have common interests in. You can talk about how much you enjoy X or Y or Z. And to preface, this is something that's happened to me more than once, not just with this individual in particular. And you can connect with them over this shared interest. And there can be this bond that happens, but not always. It's funny because, well, let's say two people like the same movie. You and I could like the same movie, and we could talk about it for like an hour, 2 hours, how great this movie is. And then at the end of it all, we could conclude our discussion and we could both walk away from the interaction and we could both feel a little hollow inside. That even though we both liked this movie, even though we both had this common interest, there was this lack of connection throughout the whole period where we shared presence with each other. And it's hard to describe or articulate exactly what it is I'm talking about, exactly what this feeling feels like. It's almost like you're trying to fit a shape into one of those little shape boxes you played with as kids. I don't know if you know exactly what I'm talking about, but there was this toy some of us had as kids where there'd be all these little blocks and there'd be different shapes. There'd be circles and squares and triangles and rectangles and trapezoids and all this fun stuff. And the connection that we're looking for is a trapezoid fitting in the trapezoid hole, a square going in the square hole, and a circle going in the circle hole. But this connection felt like the triangle going in the square hole, the circle going in the square hole, the trapezoid going in the square hole. Everything was just going in the square hole. Like there was this process of information being categorized, analyzed, just dissected and placed. But the feeling of being perfectly understood or perfectly present with somebody was not there. And as I said, I did not mean this as a judgment on that person, nor do I think it is a fault of their own or of mine. It really could just come down to a mismatch. One of us is a trapezoid, and the other is a square. Or circle. Whichever shape you emotionally identify with. I think that's something we look for in life. A connection where you feel like this person just gets you. Like they just understand all these little things about you, these little quirks, how you think, how you feel, who you are now, who you are then, who you might be in the future. And it's a hard thing for us to demand of somebody because it's like we're asking for a mirror. It's like we're asking for a perfect complement of ourselves. But does that person really exist? Are they actually out there? Or is it something we want to believe is there and we are still searching for it? Is it something that gives us reason to keep going? A hope that maybe somewhere there will be someone that just perfectly gets us. I want to believe so. I want to believe that there is this, well, best term would probably be to say soulmate for each person out there. Someone who meshes with who you are as you are. And they get it. And you get them. I think that would be maybe something a lot of us would or are looking for. And we hope we find. Whether that's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or even just a connection between two passing strangers for a moment in time.